Welcome back. Talk of the Table now. And as we approach the 50th anniversary of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy this November, the Kennedy Library has released new images of the president on vacation taken just a few months before his murder. They include the president playing golf, swimming with his daughter Caroline, even shots, as you're seeing there, of John rushing to hug the president as he got off his helicopter. Certainly hard to imagine this kind of interest in similar images from any other president's presidency 50 years after the fact. Nobody else gets this kind of a treatment, and I'm curious why we seem to hold them in such high esteem.
I got family in New England, and they can do the family tree. Everybody. I don't care what political affiliation of the Kennedys, and there's no other politician like that. And I know you've covered a lot of the royals and stuff. It's like that kind of fascination. It's 50 years later.
Yeah, it was Camelot. A beautiful family, and unfortunately, I mean, he didn't get anything done in office because he had a Republican Congress as difficult as the one President Obama is confronting now. But it was a beautiful and tragic family.
And do you think they would have been as beloved or as remembered as they are now if the tragic circumstances around the deaths of Jack and Bobby weren't there, or no?
Well, you're looking at me because I'm the oldest person on this panel.
No, but
I was a child when this happened. But historically, I've read in the history books that we came out of World War II. The 50s was this incredibly prosperous time. We built the highways, and the world this country changed in this extraordinary and optimistic way. And then, ba-bang, in 1960, we get this beautiful family that was the embodiment of everything that was good about America.
And you didn't have social media to talk about all the ugly stuff.
Right, an American exuberance, and from the sort of staid Eisenhower years. It was, elections are about choices, I always say on this show, and the choice was between Kennedy and Nixon, and they were different times, and I think the country really wanted to believe in itself and see itself reflected in such a glamorous family.
But that explains why he was so popular in 1960. It doesn't explain why he's so popular in 2013. Is it the Buddy Holly thing that he was taken so quickly that we never got a chance to dislike him?
I think you said, is any other president going to be treated the same way? I think for many parts of the American population, the Obama presidency is going to be viewed the same way as a coming out for America into the world.
And the Reagan administration, frankly, at the time in the Reagan administration, he was not very popular in many respects. By 1981, with supply-side economics and this huge recession in 1982, not popular. You would never know that if you were an alien landing on this planet today.
I have to now make the very difficult transition from John F. Kennedy to Chris Christie. The war of words between Chris Christie and Rand Paul continuing, expanding even. First, you had Christie taking libertarians like Rand Paul to task last week.
This strain of libertarianism that's going through both parties right now and making big headlines, I think is a very dangerous thought. I want them to come to New Jersey and sit across from the widows and the orphans and have that conversation. And they won't, because that's a much tougher conversation to have.
That Christie's argument against libertarians like Paul who don't want more foreign interventions. Then you had Rand Paul smacking back at Christie and Long Island's Peter King, another critic, saying, quote, they're precisely the same people who are unwilling to cut the spending, and they're gimme, 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 gimme my Sandy money now. Those are the people who are bankrupting the government and not letting enough money be left over for national defense. Pretty strong smackback. And then there's today. Christie, as you might expect, was seething and on the attack again today.
I got nothing personal against Senator Paul. If we disagree on certain issues, we disagree. His response seems that he has something personal against me, but that's okay. You can just get in line on that front. So if Senator Paul wants to start looking at where he's going to cut spending to afford defense, maybe he should start looking at cutting the pork barrel spending that he brings home to Kentucky at $1.51 for every dollar, and not look at New Jersey where we get 61 cents for every dollar. So maybe Senator Paul could deal with that when he's trying to deal with the reduction of spending on the federal side. But I doubt he would, because most Washington politicians only care about bringing home the bacon so that they can get reelected.
Ouch. This is getting good early. In response, Paul a few minutes ago told CNN that Christie attacking me isn't helping the GOP, which is pretty much like just waving the white flag on this.
But it is helping the
is
GOP.
helping the
We are seeing a battle for the soul of that party, to
That is
regain it from the libertarians, from the Tea Party, and coming back to what Republican conservatism used to be in the days of Nelson Rockefeller and even Barry Goldwater.
I agree. I think the story of the past 10 years and the next 10 years is going to be the fight for the soul of the Republican Party. I would disagree with one point. I would not conflate Tea Party Republicans with libertarians. I think libertarians have a very different worldview represented by Rand Paul, but it's one undercut by his $1.50 for every dollar sent as opposed to New Jersey, and attacking Sandy Aid and having people like Pete King, call you out on it does nothing.
This is the gift that Christie was looking for. He
Absolutely.
was looking for a foil. He wanted a fight here. He looks at, he's got a 30-point margin here in New Jersey. He's got political capital to play with, and he was looking for somebody. And he looks at Rand Paul and to bring up, gimme money for Sandy Aid here.
Ouch.
It was like manna from heaven. So,
But is this really a
this
fight
is
on
not
the
going to be the last salvo. I always tell you guys, you underestimate Christie. This was calculated. He knows where he is in the political calendar. He wants to get this fight out of the way.
But is this fight going to be on the substance or the style? Because Christie's hammering him in a way that, it's going to be a
on both, but
popularity contest.
The thing that people never get about Christie is, even the right wing, even the Tea Party folk, there is such a dearth of genuine article. Now, whether you like him or don't like him, and whether it's an actor or it's not, he comes across as genuine, that you don't have to figure out where the agenda is. And I think if there were more of him, maybe it'd be tired, but since he's the only one that will do this time and time again, that's what he brings to the table, and he's got an easy foil to go after Rand Paul with.
But doesn't that make it a battle of style as opposed to the fight for the soul of the Republican Party?
Matter.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
Let me ask you this. In a contest, Hillary and Christie.
Oh, great fight. That's pay-per-view time.
Not even close.
That's going to keep us all.
Not even
That's going to
close.
keep us all
Stay in
in
that
business.
Blowout. Hillary Clinton blowout.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll wrap it up right after this.